What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news in the form of This Week at Bungie. And in the update today, Bungie respond to some feedback about the Iron Banner and the return of the Rift game mode. And so they talk about some of the feedback they collected, plus they clarify a few things. And then they speak about Solar 3.0, some of the feedback they've collected around that, and some buffs that we're going to see to the subclasses starting as soon as next week. So we're going to break all of that down and a few more things inside of the video, guys. As always, if you enjoy this one, be sure to get subscribed for more Destiny content, and now let's get into it. Initially today, Bungie talk about Iron Banner and Rift, and specifically DMG jumps in to talk about the feedback that they're forwarding to the team, and this is both for the event and the game mode. It does say initially though, that once they have details on future plans, they'll be sure to let us know. However, they recognise that matches can sometimes feel long, and they can be close to the same time limit as a given control or clash match. But due to the stop-start nature of Rift, it can feel lengthy, especially if you're waiting for revives. Additionally, they say they've recognised feedback that Rift can play a bit slower than some other modes, but also that 5 dunks to win can feel a bit high when an opposing team gains a healthy advantage early in the match. And they recognise the feedback that we only have 3 maps for Rift. He also says they're seeing feedback around leaderboards, score tracking, and more, and the fact that players would like to see more metrics displayed after games are completed, like kills. And then for Iron Banner, they point out that the reputation bonus system is a bit difficult to understand for some players, and between equipping all the pieces of gear and things like the daily challenges and how visible they are, it certainly could be clearer in terms of the reputation boosts for the Iron Banner. It says this is only some of the stuff that's coming up frequently, so once again give us your thoughts about Rift down below. Personally, I'm not massively keen on the round reset between spark dunks. It's something that Bungie have obviously done to try and stop the snowballing that we would see in D1 Rift, and also spawn trapping and things like that. I think a lot of players also prefer kind of free-flowing 6v6 playlist stuff. But give us your thoughts about it down below, and hopefully Bungie will iterate on not only the event, but the game mode as well. Related to the event though, Bungie Help tweeted that they're investigating a problem where players aren't getting credit for the Joram's Howl Triumph or the Forging Iron Quest in the Iron Banner, and they've determined that credit won't count if players are wearing more than 5 Iron Banner armor pieces, which some people are able to do by equipping not only Iron Banner armor, but then Iron Banner ornaments on top of those pieces of armor. And while that can help to reach the maximum rep bonus, it's currently causing a bug, so if you're trying to get those done and they're not working, ensure that you're not wearing more than 5 Iron Banner armor pieces that are offering a rep bonus, whether it's armor or ornaments. And next, Bungie speak about Solar 3.0. They say that the Sandbox team has been monitoring feedback since the launch of Solar, and they have a few new updates to share with us. And Kivanyanas says, "We've been watching and reading reactions to the feature, and it's become clear that we needed to circle around the campfire to share a bit of info about our plans." They point out that initial reactions to Solar have not met the new thing that melts your face off bar, and we believe that that's due in part to a few different things, including Ember of Benevolence shipping inconsistently, and it's in a state that leaves healers feeling underwhelmed with their kit, as it isn't behaving as expected. But also, they say warlocks who wanted to specialize in healing had limited ways to interface with that fantasy, with 2 of their 3 aspects focusing on aerial mobility or scorching, and losing the flexibility of choosing to use their grenade to heal allies or damage enemies on the fly. And then for Titans, while bombastic and potent, they lack ways to keep their engine running without needing to run Throwing Hammer or burning multiple cooldowns at once. And so they say the team has pulled some heroics and shifted resources to make some buffs to Heat Rises, Icarus Dash, Celestial Fire, Burning Maul, Roaring Flames, and Consecration, as well as bug fixes for Ember of Benevolence and a few of our damage over time lingering grenades. And these changes will go live next week with hotfix 4102. And so a pretty fast turnaround on these changes, but for what they actually list, we only get Warlock and Titan changes in this particular list. I'm not sure if we'll get anything in the actual patch that relates to Hunters, but we'll have to wait and see. And for now, for Solar Warlocks and Heat Rises, they say they've added new behavior where consuming your grenade also releases a burst of cure ×2, and this heals the player and nearby allies. Plus, consuming a healing grenade will increase the strength of the burst to cure to ×3, and consuming a Touch of Flame healing grenade provides restoration as an additional benefit. Then for Icarus Dash, they've added new behavior, and while airborne, rapidly defeating targets with your super or any weapon will cure. And finally, for Celestial Fire, each projectile now applies 10 Scorch stacks, and this is increased to 15 stacks with Ember of Ashes equipped. And so more options for consuming grenades to get healing, as well as that healing while airborne, which should be interesting, as well as additional Scorch stacks, so give us your thoughts about that below. And for Solar Titans, they say, for Burning Maul, they've buffed its damage in PvE by 25%, a fairly significant buff there. And with Roaring Flames, they've added Behavior, and while it's active, your uncharged melee attack now deals solar damage and applies 30 Scorch stacks to targets per kill. And this is increased to 40 stacks with Ember of Ashes equipped. And so interesting to utilize the uncharged melee there. Then there is Consecration, and fragment slots have been increased from 1 to 2. And they've raised the height of the secondary attack's ground wave by 25% to more easily catch players who jump too late. And so some interesting additions right there. Of course, by the time these go live, we'll have some additional solar fragments in the game. So give us your thoughts below. And they finish on the abilities by saying, for Arc 3.0, it's still cooking up nicely, and they plan to have more to talk about in a future update. And they say after Arc 3.0, we should expect the abilities team to go dark for a little while. Since shipping Stasis with Beyond Light, the team has made huge ability changes season over season. Plus we've been back-to-back shipping new aspects for Stasis, adding the variable ability cooldown system, and recreating the 3 subclass experiences. And we hope the changes you've read today reinforce our commitment to being responsive to feedback. And so give us your thoughts on those changes down below, but of course ultimately, we'll get to see how they play out in-game next week. And for the hotfix launching on Tuesday, it'll be June 7th. Once again, hotfix 4102, and it's going to roll out at the weekly reset time, so at 9 AM, D2 maintenance will begin, and it should be brought offline 15 minutes before reset, and then 10 AM Pacific is when the hotfix will begin rolling out across all platforms. And so I will keep you posted with additional patch notes next week. There are some known issues and things in the TWAB as well if you want to check those out, including some stuff that's available in the Bungie store, and that also includes Bungie's new Pride collectible pin. That one gets a new design as well as a new emblem, so you can check that out in the TWAB linked below as well. Final thing to mention right here, but for any folks who have Prime Gaming, the new in-game gear drop for Destiny 2 is now available, and it's the Polaris Lance Exotic Bundle. So players can get access to the weapon, as well as the Bray Legacy Exotic Weapon Ornament, and the Ash Angel Exotic Sparrow, then the Nightmare Chalice Projection, which is a ghost projection for this season. So if you have Amazon Prime and Prime Gaming through that, you can claim that now, and if you want further information about it, I'll link the page down below. But otherwise, guys, that's what we have to round up in the TWAB. So I hope this has been useful. If it has, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Share your thoughts on any of the stuff we've covered as well in the comments section. Plus, be sure to get subscribed if you want me to keep you up to date with everything related to the game. And otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in and hope you guys have an awesome day.